Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of whatever we're calling this series. Today, we are going to just talk about a game, just very casually. We're just going to talk about one of my favorite games of all time, Bloodborne. But mainly, I want to talk about my issues with the lore. Or maybe not the issues, but what the heck when it comes to this game, right? So, basically, you start as, your normal person, and then you manage to ascend to the level of a god after one night of just hunting some beasts in your head, but it's not really in your head, it's just kinda like it's in your head, but I don't know. We're gonna talk about it. I got the closest thing I can get to, my hunter cosplay. This seems like something like a hunter would wear. So, with that said, we're just gonna talk about this. So, basically, the way this game works is you have your character who goes to some other city to get their famous magical god blood. God blood that, by the way, was found in a tomb, and somebody, presumably Lawrence, this dude, he found it in a tomb. Now, friendly reminder that blood is one of the most dangerous substances in the world. Blood is really dangerous. So you're this dude, right? You're just at college, and you're on some expedition team, and you find this blood in a tomb that seems to be linked to gods. So what do you do other than, of course, inject it into yourself? That is dumb, for one. But, okay, sure. Maybe that's not how they found the magical properties. Maybe they just knew it was magical from the beginning, somehow? And I'm not really sure how, but to some extent they knew. Okay, sure. We're gonna go with that. That being said, however, you then realize it has these magical properties. So you start giving it to everyone. You start a whole church based on the properties of this blood that you're just, it's a blood transfusion. You just put it into people who are sick and boom, they're cured of literally anything. Now one, this sounds magical, and yeah, sure, gods exist in this world. And you know gods exist in this world. However, hence the phrase, fear the old blood.
We are born of the blood, made men by the blood, undone by the blood. Our eyes are yet to open. Fear the old blood.
You fear it. You don't just be like, alright, inject it into everyone. That can't go horribly, horribly, horribly wrong. Right? No. Of course it's gonna go horribly wrong. It's random blood you found in a tomb that now you inject it into everyone. And you don't take this actually wise guy's heed when he tells you to fear it. Okay, so now everybody in the city has been injected with or transfused this blood into themselves, and they're cured of everything. So what do you do when you've basically infected this whole town with this blood? People are coming from all over the world to your kind of small town. I mean, if you look at Old Yonham, it's not big. Everyone in the vicinity is infected with this blood. What do you do? Oh, right, just keep doing it. But what do you do when everybody starts turning into beasts? You would think, okay, well, let's look at this. We now have something called a beast plague. Everyone's infected with this. Even I, Lawrence, am turning into a beast. What do you do? Apparently, the answer here is to send out a group of elite hunters to go kill all the beasts. Am I the only one who thinks that that is not the way you go about doing that? Because now you have these people like Ludwig and Gilman and Maria, well, not really Maria, well, yeah, Maria to some extent, until she, you know, threw a sword into a whale-infested well. Like, they're all going blood drunk and getting stuck in the dream. Again, by the way, how does the dream thing work in all of this? I'm not really sure. And I'm not trying to rant. I just like, what the heck? So, you have all these blood drunk hunters who are getting to the point where they are so blood drunk and beast infested themselves that they no longer have their sanity. Maybe you just stop transfusing the blood, because friendly reminder that blood is still being transfused when you start the game. Tons of Nights of the Hunt have happened at this point. The Hunter's Nightmare was forever ago. Like, we are so far into having Nights of the Hunt at this point by your character that there's not even a point in trying at this point. Like, okay, so that brings me to the end of the game, right? After tearing through this village of beasts and just people, you even kill other hunters, like, that one dude, what's his name, I don't know, in Old Autumn, who, you know, has this freaking machine gun. It's like, hey, hunter, get out of here. And you're just like, nah, there's some thing down there, I don't even know what it is. It's just got some flames on its face. I'm just gonna go, you know, hunt it, because, I wanna go into those tombs that started all of this. Like, what the heck? So, I mean, your hunter has no idea what's going on, right? Like, you going through this game, no clue what's going on. You're just like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm in a dream, kinda, not really, kinda? You're in your own head. So, at the end of the game, after tearing through this whole town of beasts, ridding the world of its plague, by the way, you were one hunter and got farther than groups of hunters combined, like Ludwig and Gehrman, who both, well, one was driven to beasthood, the other one became the coolest anime character I've ever seen. So, at the end of the game, you have three options. Well, technically four, but we're not really going to count the fourth, because just don't finish the game and just stay in the dream forever. You have three options. So, major spoiler warning right now is what I'm putting it. Alright, you got 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so, one of the endings, Gehrman gets out of his chair after the entire game. Like, you would think that he'd be like, oh, my back. Nope, never mind. Okay, yep. You do you. Okay, yep. But no, he gets out of his freaking thing, whips his damn sight off of his back, and just whacks it with it. And that being said, you can either let him get out of his chair and freaking slice your head off, or you can fight him. That being said, if you just let him kill you and you leave the dream and cool, you're good. You're freed of the night and good for you. No more beast hunting for you. Because again, so you wonder why you aren't infected by beasthood. It's because this whole game happened over one night. Like, and you're not, and there's been hunters before you. You see that with the tombs and stuff. Presumably, those are people who also took the easy way out. Easy way out? You just get lost, I guess. So you're not the first one. But it happened over one period of a night after you were supposed you just fell asleep. Alright, is this what just happened in your bed? Are you just laying in your bed and you're just like, in your bed? Like, is that what's happening? Because I feel like that's what's happening. And that, like, that also makes question to, what if you never wake up? Like, are you just in a coma? Is your family sitting there like, oh my god, my husband or wife or any significant other, I don't know what the word for it is, is just either not waking up, they're in a coma. Is that a tentacle? Like, it's weird where it kind of meshes together. Like, you think about Mikolash, who's been in the dream forever, and then you beat him, and then he wakes up, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I'm gonna let that one slide. So, or you can beat Gehrman and wake him up, which doesn't make sense, since he has these weird mystical connections to the moon presence, and, like, if you attack him earlier in the game, he just disappears. Like, why wouldn't he just do that now? Because he clearly doesn't want you to be subjected to this. He just wants you to... He wants you to wake up and be free and not have to deal with the moon presence. Because again, he doesn't like where he is right now. Like, he doesn't like being controlled by the moon presence. Having it, you know, watching over him at all times. Like, he doesn't like that. So, he doesn't want that to happen to you. He's actually a very nice dude who's just very good at anime openings, apparently.
Dear, oh dear. What was it? The hunt? The blood? Or the horrible dream? Oh, it doesn't matter. It always comes down to the hunter's helper to clean up after these sorts of messes. Tonight, Gammon joins the hunt.
So you beat him, you know, wake him up and you take over for him under the guide of the mutant presence. Or maybe not guide, but under the control of the moon presence, right? But that brings us to the final thing here, and I got some things to represent this. So, I got some noodles, as you see. Each one of these represents an umbilical cord. Now, let me preface this. I know in some places in the world, you might eat the umbilical cord of your kid. Again, that's one thing. Maybe don't, but, you know, I won't judge you. But maybe don't do that if you just found an umbilical cord on a surgery table. Okay, so, basically the way this works is you have some umbilical cords here. There's 4 in the game, but you only need 3. So, the first one, you'll probably find on your journey in, your Self-Guys clinic. And that's just sitting there. So, you know, you found this random umbilical cord, and you just... And now you've just consumed an umbilical cord. So now, you have the power of a baby. So then, you continue going, and most likely you will find another umbilical cord in a crib after you kill this giant wet nurse thing monster with multiple hands, and there's just this baby in a crib crying, and it's like, oh, let me just take its umbilical cord and, you know, let me, you know, maybe fry it up a little bit, you know, make it a little bit more tasty. Like, why? Why would you do this? And now there's 2 left that you will probably find after you're like, oh, there's some weird umbilical stuff going on here. Maybe I should go find the other ones. If there are other ones. So, yeah, you might go to Google and, you know, find out what they are. So you go look at them, and you're like, alright, let me, you know, dig out my my 3rd umbilical cord here. You know, yeah, right up, these are very cold. So now, you have enough umbilical cords to go fight the moon presence. But you know what, you want 100%. So you're gonna go find the 4th umbilical cord, and you're just gonna slurp it right up. So now you have the power of gods, I guess. Or you have the power to not be corrupted by the moon presence, you know, when it brings you up to it like, my child, please rest your forehead on me. Instead of, you know, making you gaming pretty much. It blasts you off and you're like, oh, okay. So you get to fight God. And you beat God. So now, instead of waking up, you have defeated God after eating 4 umbilical cords. There's no difference between 3 and 4. But you know, you went to some old workshop. You went to a weird bloody clinic. You went to, you beat the second final boss. I'm actually blanking on what the 4th one is, but trust me, it's there somewhere. So, you've done all this. You are now a weird tentacle thing And it's just like, oh, it's so cute, and it's fluffy, and I should probably feed it. And then you just kind of get to live with the doll forever as a weird squid thing. Because now you're the moon presence, I guess. Are you like the moon presence baby? Because you look like the moon presence, and you become that thing after beating the moon presence. So maybe you are going to become the next moon presence. And the moon presence is kind of seen as this great one of great ones, right? It's seen as the highest great one out of all the ones you fight in the game, in the chapels, the tombs or whatever. And then, you know, you become the great one. Funny reminder that, the moon presence is actually a very easy boss, implying that it's actually very weak. What was most likely once its most powerful attack is now only capable of bringing you down to 1 HP and then freezing it for at least like 10-20 seconds, which is a ton of time to just, you know, heal yourself from more of that beautiful blood that should be turning you into a beast, but because it's only about one night, you know, it's just, you know, you just keep stabbing yourself with it. You really should get that leg checked out. Well, actually, no, it's like, it's right here, isn't it? Like, you're like, right in there, because they say that the blood trickles up your leg, or whatever. So, you know, you've ascended to a great one, and now, like, what about this dream thing? This is where the dream comes in, where I'm just kind of confused. Because you now aren't gonna wake up, right? You have the 3 endings. One where you wake up. One where you take Gamon's spot and don't wake up. And one where you ascend to a great one and don't wake up, obviously. And we know that these 2 worlds are connected, like Mikolash is a person in the real world, or the waking world, as it said. Like Gamon is a character in the waking world. So what, are they all just like laying in a bed somewhere? And like, is time equal, or is like 1 night in the dream like 1 minute of reality? Because I see that a lot with like actual dreams, where they feel a lot longer than they were in reality. So, like, what's the time dilation there? Can you ever wake up if you don't take Gamon's offer? Because you kill Mikolash and he wakes up. If you die in the game, you don't wake up until Gamon separates you from the night. And by that merit, like, why does only that 1 slash take you out of the night? Why okay, I know, it's video games, they're a thing. I know. Okay, so, it comes down to, it's kind of just a weird concept that I think is just kind of funny, and I wanted to talk about it. Don't need umbilical cords, otherwise you might become God. So with that, I think I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed whatever this was. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye!